Good morning, internet, and anyone that is watching. My name is Matt in a Hat, and we are playing on a different day today with our Pathfinder Second Edition Kingmaker game that we've been doing Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. EST. Over in America, and Thursday mornings, my time over here in Australia. But today is different. We've got an extra session because we're not going to be able to play this week coming, and it's going to be a bit different. So this is a little bit of an extra and a little bit of we can't play this week, so we're doing this time instead. Hey Finmation, good to see you. Um, Please know that this is a mature stream. Will involve violence, adult language, adult themes, all of the above. It especially today we have themes of torture, themes of illicit substances, lots of different things that are coming up. So just be aware that there could be some stuff that might be triggering. We're not going to go super deep into some of these themes. We're not going to call it out specifically, but I might refer to it here and there. So just know that that's going to be part of heading after the Stag Lord because he's a great guy. And with that, we are going to jump over to our scene here with
And
all
the
of our
king,
friends.
great guy. Don't those words.
Yeah, all of our good friends here. So, hello everybody. Good to see you all.
Hello. How
Hi.
are you? Welcome to the stream.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Does someone want to volunteer for an extra hero point today to summarize in a few minutes everything that has kind of gone on? I don't need to touch on every single thing. Just summarize. Just go over everything that has happened. The major things that have happened in our adventure up till now. This might be testing your memories. Uh,
I'll
Sure.
do it.
all
I'll
right.
do it. I need the hero points.
You
Go
need the
for it.
hero
Um,
points.
yeah, I do. So, do you want after the mansion
I
or
want
like after we set out?
I want the
Everything.
whole lot.
Okay,
For the
great.
mansion.
Just give
Okay,
us
we're
give
doing the
us a
mansion. Sweet.
synopsis.
Okay, so all of us got invited to the mansion of the Lady Aldori, the Swordmaster, and she is the head person over like Ravoy or Restov, and she told us, um, "Here, I'm going to give you a charter to go out to a certain area of this place called the Stolen Lands, and they are currently under like the Stag Lord, and we have to basically kick him out and establish a functioning kingdom." So before we got through the mansion, it got attacked by assassins. We met several friends, several allies. Um, Not all of them uh, decided to join us, um, but we found like three or four that are with us. I believe four, and we defeated the giants, the frost giants, and the people that were trying to kill the lady of the mansion. So we finished that, and then we set out. We've been through a few different towns and areas. We've picked up a few quests. The main one is getting the Stag Lord um, out of this area, which is what we're going to try and tackle tonight. But before that, we have taken care of a a bounty for a creature called Tuskgutter. We did that last week or earlier this week. Pardon. We have helped a kobold clan um, get their. We helped a an old leader who was replaced by a new evil leader. We helped him. Um, we found a temple that somebody at Oleg's trading post wanted us to find so he could go and reconsecrate. We finally found the wedding ring that the lady or the Svetlana at the trading post wanted. Um, and we have also, there are a few notable people that we have either captured, killed, or saved. And that's what I've got.
Nice. Alright, so I will hereby add a hero point to you. Good job, sir. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
So that, yeah, summarizes a little bit about what our party here have been up to over the last little while. And as a just look back, we started in the second week here for Rust, and we have been adventuring now for 4 weeks, and we are in the first week of Gozran, which is the second month of spring. A totally new month and a totally new opportunity to learn and explore and take down this Stag Lord guy. So, there we are. Now, you were traveling. Let's have a look at the Stolen Lands for a moment. We had Oleg's trading post is up here, and we basically traveled through the lands that we knew, straight down to the kobolds, to sort out what was going on there. So that's where we have camped, and we are on our way now, today, traveling west along the river towards the Stag Lord's Fort. We are staying to the north of the river because we know that the south of the river is significantly more dangerous, and so we're staying to the north of the river. And we know of the river crossing that's down here. It's more of a ford than anything, so we know that that's there, and we're heading west and then southwest towards the Stag Lord's Fort. Okay, so given that we've had a rest, time to sleep, I'm gonna set the day again at Monday. You can set yourselves to rested, please, and give me a moment.
Anybody else wasn't going to get fully healed by rested. I still had multiple spells to cast for healing.
Yeah, I
So
need a
it
lot
should-
of help.
We should be able to be at full. I've got like 4 different healing spells I can
Okay.
still cast.
Yeah.
I could also, every 10 minutes that we're allowed to focus, I could do lay on hands as well.
Okay.
I was just speaking up about that because there's more than enough spells between me and what you can do for lay on hands that we shouldn't be injured at all.
If we have, time to rest and
Well, you said we had time to rest, but we would get a rest in. So,
yeah.
which thankfully everything went well with the kobolds. We didn't get routed
Agreed.
there and have to.
I mean, the Link Caves, I think they'd be good miners for us.
Yeah, maybe put them in charge of running the gold and the silver mines. They're living in the silver mine. And the fact that we've made staunch allies of them just simply because we've been nice to them or tried to help them at every encounter we've had with them.
Sorry about that.
Hopefully we'll make them. Well, no problem.
We've treated them well, yeah. It's all good, man. Life happens.
One of the neighbour's kids accidentally kicked his ball over the fence.
Sounds right. Been there, done that.
Well, and
Yes,
simply because
never
the
happened.
simple thing of asking, can you get that back, rather than just coming into your yard. says that they're courteous neighbors too.
Mhm.
When I was growing up, we had a neighbor next door who he would destroy the balls if we kicked or threw them over the hedge.
Wow.
Nick's nuts actually used to work for him for a little while.
Ha.
Yeah,
As an adult.
All right.
that,
So
that guy's a. Yeah, I'm not going there.
all right.
That's a good reaction.
He's vile.
So we're traveling west and then southwest. Has everyone got everything that they need, or do we need to go quickly back to the campsite and just double check?
I'm all good.
All good.
All right. So, with all of that said and done, we're going to be changing to this map. Boom. All right. So,
Why would you be here?
because we're traveling. We're traveling along the northern bank of the river, as stated in my description, and we're traveling west and southwest, according to my description. Okay. And as part of this, it's a beautiful day. It's nice and sunny. And as you were traveling, you see some deer on the far side of this river. It is about as wide as what you are seeing, perhaps a little wider, but this is approximately. It is running pretty fast. But yeah,
Deer,
there
oh
are
deer.
some deer, oh deer. Part of yes, it is the name of part of the name of this session. Hey, Shaunatron, good to see you, buddy. How are you? It's been great to see you back in your streamer seat, sir, and hope that you're doing well. I'm giving you a shout out there. Welcome on in. I hope you enjoy the show. And please remember that we do have, as part of everything, we have some Kingmaker specific redeems that are channel points. So there's things like making things more difficult. There's things like giving heroes hero points, adding flashbacks, drawing critical cards, all sorts of stuff there. So have a quick look at that.
Making people miss.
Yeah. All of those things. So just know that's that. Alright, and yeah, you guys are seeing these grazing deer. It seems like there's a small herd of them. There's at least 4 or 5 that you can spot, and maybe even more in the forest beyond. You know that deer make good eating, and we have with us a pretty damn good cook here in Reskin. But you also know that the south side of this river could be more dangerous. It's up to you what you want to do with this, if anything.
Cool thing in the chat.
I'm just remembering at this point the last time we encountered deer near water.
Yeah,
That didn't go so well.
they were pretty flighty, is what you remember. These ones seem to be younger than the ones that you dealt with, scared, whatever else in that sense.
We should mark this on the map for later use. Who's our cartographer? That's a problem.
There's a stunned silence as everyone looks to everyone else. Because are you the cartographer? Are you the cartographer?
I mean, I can draw on a piece of paper, so.
I mean, I'm the academic, so I guess technically it falls to me.
They seem to be just grazing on the other side of the river. They seem pretty peaceful. One of them looks up and puts its head straight back down into the grass.
I don't think. I mean, do we really want to be dealing with carrying a whole deer carcass along with us right now?
Not right now, no.
That's why I said mark it
We
down.
can't
for
put it on
later.
our mounts.
Remember, dead flesh draws things that eat dead flesh. I don't want any more
Privacy.
privacy
Privacy.
to kill my ass while I'm sleeping again.
Okay, it's fine. Let's keep eating rabbits and squirrels
Cats,
and
apparently.
stuff.
Why are you so loud?
Venison's pretty damn good.
He sounds like you're trying to kill him or something.
All right,
Go
so
jail.
given all of this, it sounds
I
like
think I believe him, yeah.
you're not interested in dealing with them right in the moment. You do realize that it's been a couple of days since you had a really good source of fresh water, and your water skins are like you've had little bits, but your water skins are starting to get a little light.
No, I mean the river's fresh water. I don't have problems filling up the water skin. Somebody watch my back. Give me everybody's water skins. I'll go up to the edge to see if I can fill them.
I'm gonna look and check and see, make sure there's no predators or anything.
Yeah. So give us a perception check as you make sure that there's nothing insidiously hiding in any trees or anything like that. Yeah, you have a pretty good look around. The only movement that you're sensing right now is from yourselves and from the deer, which are on the other side of the river. You do, in fact, see one of the deer like coming up to the water and like put its foot in to see if it wants to like cross, even though you guys are on the other side. It seems pretty curious, but it doesn't. It decides not to. Other than that, there's nothing as far as creatures that you can tell.
I mean, if we were a gnome or hobbit or halfling, I would say we should grab one of them because then we could use it as a mount. That would be fun. But it's a little bit small for that.
Training.
Eventually, it might get big enough. You would probably need a male of the species. The you know to ride. They're just deer. It's not like yeah.
Like I said, I'll grab everybody's water skin and say I'll fill them. Just keep an eye out.
Okay.
I'm going to approach the water here.
Yeah. All right. The others are seemingly to come with, make sure that everything's all good. So as you approach,
I'm gonna back him up. Absolutely.
as you approach the water, you your foot it seems to sink pretty deep, pretty quick into the mud on the riverside. So I've got a thing here.
Do you know? This is gonna be fun.
Alright, so
He starts sinking and I want to grab him.
yeah, that's okay. Tunnel, I need you to please just you right now. I'd like you to roll me an initiative roll, please. As your foot just starts to disappear from underneath you.
It says that there's no active encounter. On
That's fine, I'll make one. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Nice, nice. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so what happens is it's going to pull you down. And I'm going to reveal it's going to also roll initiative. But it got there. And what it's going to do, it takes an action. And it's going to pull you down. And Kasser and Reskin, you can also feel a pull on you. So you can both roll initiative too, now that you're seeing and feeling this. So Tarnal, you pulled one square here. And you are submerged in the bog up to your waist as your feet just completely disappear underneath the layer of this ground / water. It's a little bit of both. And
all my wonderful experiences with water and shorelines in the past, does this feel like something just the bank gave out, or do I literally feel like something just tried to drag me into the water?
you don't feel like grasping on your body or anything. What you think has happened is that this is just a treacherous area of bog that is especially downward pulling, especially I guess difficult to emerge from, and it just basically pulls things. It's not quite like quicksand. It's just a vanishing bog, and it's pulling you down. You are down to your waist. So Res, you do. You hear the others, and they are both getting pulled as well. So Reskin gets pulled and Kasser gets pulled. And they are both, all rather, up to their waists in the bog as we start this. And so we're going to start this. Tarnal, you do have your turn as now, as you are waist deep in fog, in this bog. And then we'll have Reskin's turn. Lucas, I'm going to have you roll initiative, but you're going to go after these guys. Whatever you roll, we're just going to have you after. Just add you in. Because you're a bit further down. I'm going to have you there, okay? So, Tunnel.
Okay.
Is there anything out to the chunk of vegetation that's to my left there? Anything I think I could grasp myself onto to try to pull out with?
You could make some sort of check to identify that. It's happening very quickly, so at this stage you're not sure.
I think I'm just going to grab at the vegetation and pull and hope it's not poison ivy.
Yeah.
Try to pull myself out.
All right.
Athletics check?
Yeah. Athletics check is fine.
Don't drown, Daddy. That's what he's saying. Don't drown. Awesome.
So as you feverishly try to grasp,
I have to wait for just a quick moment. Sorry.
That's fine. At the underbrush, you realize that your flailing and your panic that is rising from deep within you is actually making you sink quicker. And you actually are submerged now up to your neck as your whole torso just disappears. You could your hands are above right now, but like right up to your shoulders is this bog.
Oh, this is no
I'm going
good.
to use the rest of my action to take as many big, deep breaths as I can and attempt to calm myself. I'm also going to stop moving and say that aloud. Thrashing makes you sink faster.
Very good. Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna take a couple of deep breaths.
Would that be a
Um.
survival check? Just
Uh.
wondering.
Not really.
Okay. No, it's fine. Never mind. Don't worry about
He's narrating that he's calming himself
it. Okay.
down, resetting.
Sure.
So is there another
Trying.
type of knowing that both Reskin and Tarnal and Kasur are there, they are submerged too, but maybe they can help you. They're closer to the side than you are because you were the first one to step in. Is there one more action perhaps that you would try to do other than just like trying to calm yourself?
Check something. Quick. Oh, shoosh.
Yeah, that might work.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I'm going to cast that.
So yeah, you start to sing a song of uplifting. It works especially well in this scenario. Please uplift me.
And I'm going to target Reskin with that.
Lift me
1 hour.
up.
Counts as having prepared aid, and you can roll performance as the aid instead of whatever they've chosen. So you're like, Reskin, put me up, brother! Get me out of here!
It also says, and if I roll a failure, you get a success instead.
That's pretty damn good. All right.
That's my other action.
Reskin, having heard these pleas from your brother, and being already waist deep in this bog already.
You're muted. Reskin, you're muted.
I'll grab Tarnal and try and pull him back towards the bank.
All right. Well, you can grab him.
I will make my performance
Let's make an athletics check to try and grab him. Yep. So you're aiding with performance.
Oh no, I'm not.
Half of your performance is lost as you cough and splutter the bog that is rising ever faster as you are sinking underneath it, and so you start to like speak and start to perform and blah, 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 blah. I mean blah, 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 blah. I mean, please get that. Blah, 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 blah.
It still counts as a success for the aid, at least.
It does. Oh, Reskin, it's very difficult. Arnold is having a lot of trouble with this, and so are you.
Try and use acrobatics to escape.
By all means. Oh.
Can we at least roll above a 5? That'd be super.
Oh, that would be bad. So with that, you realize that your attempt to grab Tarnal would have pulled you down with him, but using your acrobatic, talent, you managed to not be pulled down with him, so you're still waist deep, no deeper than that. Even though You think you would have been pulled down with him had you not succeeded at your acrobatic prowess.
Guess I'll try again.
Sure. Oh.
Wow.
No better and no less at this stage.
This is not a 1.
As you struggle with this particular hazard. So, Kasser, you are waist deep in this bog. Reskin is attempting. He first attempted to grab Tarnal, but you know that he's not particularly great at that. And then he's like just acrobatically trying to pull his way back to the shoreline. And he's done all right, but he hasn't succeeded. He's still being pulled in. He keeps on making progress and then just getting pulled back to that waist deep section, I guess.
As their scolding mothers did to them, I grabbed them both by the scruff of their necks and the backs, their armor, and I drag them out.
All right. Well, you can try.
Like they're
I
not
can
even
say, like, you're waist deep, too.
Some trouble. Athletics.
Athletics.
Come on, everyone. Come on.
Oh, that's pretty good.
All right. So with that, you can either raise yourself by 1 step, or hang on 1 second. Sorry. You can actually pull yourself out, but you won't be getting either of the others. You could push one of them out instead and be here still, or you can pull yourself out.
I can't have both of them out. Only one of them.
Only one of them.
Get Tarnal.
As you wish, Rishkin. Tarnal goes flying.
If it's Tarnal, because he is neck deep, you can push him up to waist deep. Basically, it's removing a level of bad.
I'm gonna have to mount then.
Yeah. So Tarnal, as you bloop bloop bloop, he lifts you up to your waist deep. Till you're waist deep in the water. You still have 2 actions, Kasser, and you can see that he's in a much less threatening situation, but still waist deep in the water, and both Reskin and you are still waist deep in the water.
Can I try that again?
You may.
Can I intimidate the bog into leaving us alone?
The bog is not a creature, so probably not going to work. Very nice.
Ooh, super close to a 1.
So, are we still focusing on Tarnal and getting him out of here?
Does that only allow us to do one of us again?
It is.
Yeah.
Alright, so Tarnal, with an almighty heft, Kasser yeets you out of the water.
Totally okay with this. Totally okay with this.
And you realize
Everyone
you're no
grows
longer
a
sinking.
half-elf.
You are prone, however, on the side of the river. You've got
That
one
left.
action left, Kasser.
Try and get yourself out. You can always throw a rope.
All right.
Not as good.
Yeah. So your efforts with Tarnal have been amazing. You're starting to get tired, at least at the second, and you don't succeed that time. Lucas, you see Tarnal being yeeted out of the water and land prone on the side. He is not in danger of being sucked in anymore, but you see both Reskin and Kasser still waist deep in the bog.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at Tarnal. I'm gonna check Tarnal really quick and just say, dude, just calm down. You're
I'm fine.
fine.
Get
Okay.
that.
Okie doke. Got it. Um. So I'm gonna use my rope. Am I okay to use it from where I am, or do I have to move?
What are you trying to do with it?
I'm trying to throw it to Kasur.
Are you wanting to throw the whole rope? Or are you wanting to tie some
No,
to
I'm
you?
gonna tie it off. I'm gonna tie it off like to the. Is there a tree there that I can tie it off to?
You, possibly. You don't know how
Like
strong they are.
like like that tree right there, or is
Yeah,
that a stump?
it is a stump, but you can still wrap your
All right, here I'll
rope
move
around
up
it.
there and I'll wrap my rope around it. What is that? A survival check?
Yes, or thievery.
I'll do the survival check. Yes.
You're fine. So yeah, you tie a
Okay,
really
so
solid knot, and you toss it at Kassir, so make an attack. Just with a dagger or some
yep.
other
Well, I was
thing.
gonna do unarmed strike. Yeah.
Strike is fine. Yeah, you're fine. So yeah, you toss it accurately, and Kassir, you're able to grab hold of that rope that you can see is wrapped around that log stump. Now, the treacherous quagmire will pull.
Can I also grab it since it's going right over me?
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So both of you are pulled. One, two. And both of you are up to your necks in the quagmire, but both of you have hold of the rope. Tarnal.
That's good.
I'm going to. I'm in no danger of sinking from the spot that I'm in, even if I stand up right here.
Correct.
That all I've got. I only have the one.
You made a whole bunch of actions. You moved, you tied
Oh,
off, and you
okay.
threw.
Okay. No worries. Sorry, just wondering.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stand up from prone, first off.
Sure.
I'm going to continue to sing the same that I did before, once
Yeah.
again.
Mm-hmm.
Targeting still onto Reskin. I think Kazur has a better chance of being able to get out with his abilities on that than, and he's my brother. And then I'm going to grab hold of the rope with my third action at that point to attempt to pull as well as they go to try to come out.
All right. Reskin,
Okay. I'm going to try and pull myself out.
you have aid from Tarnal. And Tarnal can also make an athletics check as part of this on top of the performance.
There's the performance.
Nice.
There's my athletics.
Okay. So with Tarnal's help, Reskin, you manage to make it back to waist deep, holding onto that rope, and pulling it in, but you're not quite all the way out. And Tarnal has already made the aid checks that he could. You could only react once around, so that has happened. So you have one more success, effectively, to get out of here, like fully. But you
All right. I'm back to waist deep. I'll
waist
try
deep.
acrobatics again.
Yep. You have the aid of the rope, which is helping. With the aid of the rope, you do manage that then. With that guiding and anchored force, you manage to pull yourself to Riverside. Very good. Yes, sir. Seems
I
like
shall try to slog out of this mess.
everyone is out. You have hold of the rope, which does help you. Oof. Yep, that'll do.
Yeah,
And
boy.
so, with the help of the rope, you first pull yourself to waist deep, and then with a mighty surge of energy, you pull yourself to the river's edge and out of the quagmire.
Flick the filth off me. This place is nasty.
Nothing ever good's of going into the water in the wild. Flat out.
If it wasn't for the need to drink, I would say we'd ban water in our kingdom.
Ban bog water for sure.
Alright, well, you've seen part of the dangers of traveling in the wilderness, and you right yourselves and you start to prepare your further southwest journey.
So this is the reason why all those deer are still alive. Nobody has dared ever cross this bog.
Maybe. Alright, so I'm gonna.
I'm gonna put.
Did you look underneath there? There may have been a number of attempts. We just did not see them.
Yeah, there might be a bunch of dead bodies at the bottom of the bog.
Hey, maybe there's some masks. Why don't you go check?
Alright, so
Don't forget
what I'm
the
gonna
rope.
do is I'm going to. So this section, I'm a little. I don't want to say disappointed, but this section is a little odd because they've got narration to some of the things, but it hasn't been written. So it's kind of disjointed a little bit here. And so I'm going to try my best to paint the picture of what you see when you get to the Stag Lord's fort. And unfortunately, there's not a scene that shows the lay of the land. So I'm going to try to describe it the best that I can and tell you kind of what's going on with it. It would have been a lot better if they had not just the Stag Lord's fort, but like the area around it, so that there was like a map with it as like a small section, and then the lay of the land, like what was up, what was down, and then a zoom in from there. But that's not what's happened here. So imagine that you're coming up to the Stag Lord's fort. You've travelled south and you've travelled southwest to get here. A few things. I'm going to activate the Stolen Lands here. As you can see, based on this, the land is undulating. It goes up and then down, and you're seeing that the Stag Lord's fort is up on a rise. So consider that the river falls off to its side a significant way. It's not right beside it, but it's fairly close. But it drops off to a much lower layer. And and you can see that the fort is surrounded by a wooden palisade. You can see that there are watchtowers. You can see that there are elevated platforms, both to stand upon and walk upon. And as you do that, as we look upon this, we have a flashback for someone. Who would you like this to be for Shaunatron? We have Diamnix, Mixnuts, Azriel, or Malkov. Who is having a flashback or a contact? And it's your choice. As they're looking at this, a flashback or a contact, you can choose. So you can choose
Inkwell.
the player, you can choose the either a flashback or a contact. And while you type that, I think I've got this person. Sorry, I've got...
Is there cover under which we can use to approach closer to the keep, or is it all clear?
So I need to like double check everything. I'm relatively certain that it's open, but I'm gonna double check everything.
Maybe we should wait till dark.
So we have Malkov and a contact. So, one of your contacts from your past, someone that you've worked with, or someone who's been otherwise involved with you in the past, is here. So, who is it? And why are they looking at or running away from the Stag Lords for?
It is. Let's see.
So, Reskin, contact, Stag Lord.
It is a dwarven trader named Thuris Frostboot, and he is also a bit of a cook himself, and he was one of the people that would often come to the grounds and teach the head chef new things and bring new ingredients, among other things that he would trade.
Okay, I
And
can
he's
work with
fleeing
that.
from the Stag Lord's keep.
All right. Okay, so this dwarven trader is rolling a barrel before him. So he's coming down an incline. And he's rolling a barrel before him, and there are arrows being shot from behind him as he runs. Now, this is all happening. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to read parts of a section that's called Methods of Approach, to give you some sort of idea about what's going on here. Unfortunately, as I said before, this hasn't been organized particularly well, and there's not like a called out section that just describes this, so I have to summarize it. I have to read and then summarize it. So usually we have a very like it's all summarized for us, but it's just the way that it's happened this time. So what we have is you can see that the walls are heavily defended. Blah blah blah. They're on these multiple levels with the watchtowers standing there. There's a an upper section to the fort and a lower section to the fort. You can imagine that the upper section to the fort is just walkways. It's walkways and towers where people come up. They can like go around both around the walls, and they can go from tower to tower, like by crossing these walkways. So that's kind of what the upper level is, and what you can see most readily from a distance. The lower level is the fort itself, where everything is going on, and you can't see what the layout is from here because you're kind of looking up to the walls. You can see that the fort is able to be accessed on potentially any side. All of the sides are different. The side that you're looking at from the north and slightly east, you can see that the road starts to incline up, and you see a gateway where there are like two towers overlooking it. At the moment, that's open, but it's currently getting closed, even as we speak, and this dwarf is running down towards you. And arrows are flying from the towers. So that's getting closed. The gates are getting closed even now as we speak. And you can see that this incline coming this way is where that gate is. And it's the most accessible, other than that it's the most obvious and the most watched, right? As you look and see the rest of the fort from your vantage point, you can see that the lay of the land sort of shapes around it, and it gets harder and harder as the land like hugs that. And even though you can't see very well from here, you can estimate that on the far side, like at the back of the fort, there would be, it looks like a very long and wide and steep, but maybe not too steep, backing, I guess. It's like a hillside that the fort is situated upon, and potentially, looking from here, it might be possible to circle the fort when you're not being, well, like it's not quite as day as it is now, and potentially come up the other side. From that side, there's not a gate as far as you can tell. It looks like the back of the fort, but it looks like that this hillside goes all the way up to it. But it looks, I don't know, like it hasn't been used. It's maybe fairly precipitous or dangerous in other ways. You're not entirely sure. The palisade itself is about 15 feet high. Looking at from here, you can see vertical logs that have been sharpened into spikes on the top. You can see a 30-foot wide zone around the outer perimeter as well, around the palisade that's being watched, and that's kind of, otherwise, you can be like in a small clutch of trees. You haven't been seen specifically yet, but there's not much, and you are a significant distance from the fort still. I'm going to call this about 300 feet away at the moment, 300 to 400 feet away. This is what you're taking in from this distance, and there's not much else to use as cover between there and here, maybe a rock or two, but it's going to be pretty dangerous unless you were to go around and use, a big wide berth to get to that like hillside on the far side. But otherwise it's pretty open. That's kind of what you're looking at. I'm sorry, it's a little bit higgledy-piggledy, And I'm sorry that we can't show that. It'd be very nice to be able to do that, but we don't have the capacity. It's not been given to us that way. So this dwarf is rolling this barrel, coming on down. Reskin, you immediately recognize him, although he is disheveled and seems to be in not such a good state as these arrows are coming from the fort. It seems like one or two are stuck in his clothing, and you see a little bit of blood, but he doesn't seem to be in too rough shape right now.
How far away is he?
I reckon he's like you've spotted him about 100 feet from the fort and 200 feet from you. And he's generally coming kind of in your direction, but the crop of trees that you're in is off the beaten trail that he is naturally following. And it's off the beaten trail by about 100 feet. So you're 100 feet from the trail, he's another 100 feet along the trail, and then there's another 100 feet to the actual fort to keep it to give you 3 range bands.
I'll just yell out in Dwarven from where we are. I'll just yell, Master Thuris, this way. Friends over here.
I'm gonna snap and look at you and go, you know this one?
Yeah, he's a trader who used to come to my father's manor and trade with the cooks.
Great.
Thuris. Alright, so initially at 200 feet, the dwarf doesn't seem to be paying attention because he's too busy rolling his barrel that's making a heck of a lot of noise on the road, rumbling as it's rolling along. And your voice doesn't quite carry that far. When he gets to about 100 feet from you, you call out again, and he pauses for a second, and an arrow comes flying from the fort and sticks right into the barrel. And then he sort of like starts to push the barrel again, continuing to try and get further and further away, because that was an excellent shot from 200 feet away.
Oh, they got
Is he
some
coming
snipers
towards
over
us
there.
now, or is he continuing to go further away?
He stopped, he heard you, but yeah, he's continuing to, at least for the moment, travel along the path.
I'll just yell out, like, on your right, come across the field to the trees.
Alright, so given all of that...
Staying out of line of sight of the fort, so they can't see where I am.
Yeah. And so he looks back at the fort after another about 20-30 feet. There's a couple more arrows, but none of them are quite so good. He sort of shrugs, and then he pushes the barrel off to the right, which is the way that you've said. And he's like looking from left to right to see what he can see. He seems pretty confused. And then I imagine you sort of stand at least like...
I'll position myself with a tree between me and the fort, but
right,
where I could wave to him.
Yeah, and he sees someone waving, and he looks confused, but he keeps on coming. And he pushes the barrel down, and then like he comes to a stop about 20 feet from you, and he looks into the shade. And you come out enough that he can see you, but the fort can't. And he's like, Reskin, what strange power brings you out here?
We're eliminating bandits. Why are you here?
It's a strange chain of events, there, friend. It seems like yesterday that I was making food for you. Well, it seems that I have come upon a few very interesting alcohol recipes, and let's just say that there are a few men in here that like the old drink, and so I didn't realize what sort of men they were, and I took up a task to bring them some recipes, and I have me hide just at the moment, but there's some foul ones in there, I can tell you, and I'm lucky to have me life. Do you think? You think they'll come after me? I have to say that I did swear at one.
We can only hope.
I'm just surprised to see you here. I didn't, of all the people to see out in bandit country, I didn't expect to see you. But you're safe with us. We're here to end the bandit threat.
As I said,
People are in that fort.
I wasn't sure that they were bandits until I got here, and I will tell you, they do not treat you well. Even if you are a trader of some repute and a craftsman like I am. I've been whipped more than once, and well, you'll see that there's not as much to me as there once was. And indeed, Reskin, you notice like he's always been like, you know, dwarves hold themselves pretty rotund anyway. But you know, he was pretty stocky. He's lost a lot of weight.
How long did they have you there?
He says, well, there'd be more than a handful of days that I don't even remember, but it'd probably be about a month.
I'll just, as I'm talking to him, I'm going to take out a ration and hand it to him.
And he looks at it, and he goes, I'll have that. I'm not sure that I would take another one from the likes of them, but from a hand of a friend, he gratefully received.
Some proper food after we dealt with these bandits.
Like he like just takes a big handful of the dried meats and fruit, and like he just starts to stuff his gob. It looks like he hasn't eaten in about 4 days.
A suggestion, Reskin. If this is a friend of yours, why don't we look for a place to set up camp away from prying eyes so that we might plan here by the Stag Lord's fortifications and maybe prepare him a little better meal?
It's not a bad plan. Perhaps you can give us the lay of the land in there for a night assault.
A night assault?
Yes.
I wish you good luck with that, but I'll draw out what I can for you. But let's just get away a little bit further, shall we? I don't fancy them coming after us.
Sounds like a good plan. And we'll start backing away towards where we can get a good hiding spot, you know, some tree cover and maybe a rise or two between us.
Would we have enough
We look
time
towards the fort.
to travel all the way back to the Sootscale Kobolds and get back here by nightfall?
No.
Is there any coming out of the fort if we look up that way?
No. But, you can hear sounds of shouting. You can't hear what they're saying. So, while you don't see any men coming out of the fort, there's something going on.
I'm going to take a scrap piece of cloth that we have and hang it out front of the trees, kind of like where Reskin was, where once you're kind of passing, you can see it. And I'm going to sharpen sticks and stick them in the ground as we leave.
For what purpose?
little spiky sticks sticking up out of the ground that are kind of hard to see, kind of hidden in the grass. So, if someone comes walking through here, they might go, ow.
Okay.
Improvised traps.
Um,
I say we just hustle the hell out of here. Let's take as much time as we can to get distance. Is I think the biggest key here.
Yeah, so you left at the start of the day. It's taken you about 4 hours. Probably a little bit more, 4 to 5 hours to get here. And then probably 20, 30 minutes to start to like scout this place out and get the lay of the land before the dwarf came out. So it would take you 4 to 5 hours to get back to the kobolds. At which point, you couldn't then do another 4 to 5 hours to come back again, before nightfall. You could do it before the next day if you wanted to do that. But you can afford to do something like 2 hours retreat.
Oh, I think an hour would probably be enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to cover our tracks as we're heading out.
Make a check. So I believe covering tracks is a survival.
Pretty sure it was a survival check.
Yep.
Yes, it is. Pretty decent. All right. Yeah. You move a little bit slower, but you cover your tracks, and you travel for about an hour. And until you don't hear any more like calling out. You've not spotted any signs of pursuit as far as you can tell. And you've come to an area that looks both defensible and relatively hidden. So you sort of there's a little like there's a little crop of dead trees that sort of falls off. There's like a fall off in the land, and you find like it's not much of a cave, but it's like just an overhang that you can sort of stand beneath. That doesn't like you can't really see from the opposite side. You could see easily enough if you came from the east, but not from the west, which is where they would be coming from.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll set up camp, and as we're traveling, I'll introduce Master Thirst to everyone. This is my brother, Tarnal, and our traveling companions and friends we've met along our travels here, Castor and Lucas.
It's nice to meet you, Master Dwarf.
He says, well, I'm glad there's some friendly faces around here. I wasn't sure that I'd get away clean, and I'm still not sure that I will. I have that itching feeling in the back of my neck that says that someone might come looking for me.
By the way, what's in the barrel? It was so important.
He says, this is my latest special reserve.
Did somebody take some of it? And that's why you're running away?
He says, I brew it while I was there for the Stag Lord, but as I said, they didn't treat me kind, and so I made off with it.
Well, what's the inside of that place look like?
Yeah, so he'll give you a bit of an idea. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go over to Prism. We're going to just add a source. Gonna be a window capture. Window capture? Yeah, window capture. Do paint. So you won't see this if you're not on the stream, so please go over there. I know you guys do anyway.
You're telling us to cheat and spy on you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you won't see anything other than paint.
Well, I know. I'm messing with you. It's all good.
Alright, so what he'll show you. Let's make sure that we've got a big brush size. Let's fill it with that. And then we'll do black. And then a big brush size. So the gate, something like this. We'll have that. That.
No, get up there.
And so he'll have some rocks here. I'll talk to you about in a moment. That. Alright, so he's calling this one. He's calling this 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? So in one, he says that's the yard. There are, it's like barren earth. There's few barrels, buckets, and horses. He says 2 is a little, like, there's stairs leading up into like an armory that have like weapons, and arrows and armor and stuff like that. So that's in number 2. He only knows that. He hasn't actually seen up in there, but he's seen a few men go up there and come out like with more stuff. So there's that. He says that there's a cooking pit in 3. That's where he spent most of his time. There's like partially burnt logs. The cooking pit is stone lined. That's in 3. 4, he says, is like a central kind of room. There are like dirty bowls and bedrolls. People sleep there. There's like iron gate. It's like ancient plaster and stonework. Um, he says, bad man Dovin uh, takes up residence in there along with some bandits. He was one of the ones that beat him badly. He says
Is it
5.
Movin?
Dovin? Yeah.
I want to make sure we know his name so we can be sure to give his limbs a little extra pummeling for you.
He said 5 is the barracks where that is like there's people like sit in there and stay alert for the bad things. He says that that's where he's seen the Stag Lord, or at least heard the Stag Lord. He actually hasn't seen the Stag Lord at all, just heard him a lot. But that's in 5 and 6. 6, he says, is there's some sort of creature in there that they keep penned up. It makes this terrifying hooting roar.
Great.
Boy.
Awesome.
I'm gonna
Wait,
do
is
my
it great?
best imitation of the owlbear that we fought before. Kind of like that.
He says, that's what it sounded like to me. Yep. And
Fucking owlbear.
he reveals his hands, and you can see that one finger on both hands has been cut off, and he says, I'm fingerless, and those are being fed to whatever is in there.
It's ridiculous.
This disgusting man. They chopped your fingers off and fed it to a beast?
It's not the only thing they fed to it, but yes.
For somebody that's a cook, that's like really not what. That's like really heinous.
To anyone, that's really heinous.
Oh, I know, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look right at Lucas. To anyone that's heinous, I want all of my digits attached.
He
At all times.
If it's possible to sneak in there and let the owlbear loose.
yeah, it could
That's
be.
what I was thinking.
So as an overlay to all of that, he doesn't know the upper area like quite like as well. But what he can show you is where he's seen the men. So I'm just gonna do it over this. So he says that there's a watchtower over there. He says there's a watchtower over here. He says there's a walkway across. He says there's a watchtower here. He says that there's a walkway down. He says there's a tower here. A walkway. A tower, like a standing area, which is a bit broader. And stairs. That's kind of like the layout-ish of everything else, but he says like there's an upper area here that's like can be trod upon as well. So that's kind of like an overlay approximately of the upper area.
Okay.
So it's fairly significantly watched and fairly significantly viewable from above.
So those other areas below are which areas are covered and which are open air?
I'm not 100% sure. I think everything from here to here, like in that kind of square, is inside
Okay.
ish, I think.
How many of those walls have windows in them?
He spent most of his time bound or gagged or cooking or getting whipped. He doesn't really remember that. And he says he's lucky to remember the layout. That's he had a pretty bad time here, so he can't give you that information.
Understandable.
Friend.
Does he have any clue how many bandits are in there?
He
Based on the amount of
estimates.
food provided.
Yeah, he estimates for you. He says there are 3 like lieutenants. There are more than a handful of sub leaders or like other characters. Like so, more than a handful, more than 6 sub people, and then there are mooks. He says of the mooks, he knows of. Let's see. Over 10, more than 10.
Okay.
So 3 lieutenants, more than a handful of named other characters, and more than 10 mooks.
So probably in excess of 2 dozen.
Yeah. He says he's typically been ordered to cook for about 30. Whether that means that some of them are eating and drinking more, he doesn't really know. But that's how many he's been ordered to cook for.
Let's assume that for worst case scenario.
Okay?
I think we need to sneak up after dark and get as much intel as we can.
Yeah.
Obviously, that'll be difficult for you, Lucas, because we won't be able to have any light. You won't be able to see in the dark.
I'll just be quiet. Like, I'm not. You don't have to worry about me. I don't make noise. You have to worry about Kasur, who's like going clank, 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 clank.
He says.
Logging through is the problem.
The dwarf says, "I am in no shape to be fighting or doing anything other than resting and getting to safety. Do you know of anywhere I can go that's not too far away that might get some respite?"
Well,
Oleg's would be the best, but that's a bit of a trek.
Kobolds.
a few days to Oleg's, and there's a kobold then that's friendly to us a few hours east. But
Is there some sort of token I can take to them? I don't imagine that they'll take kindly to it. Just a stranger wandering in the wilderness.
not really.
Tell them that the Slayers of Tartuk send their greetings.
Slayers of Tartuk.
Yep, that's all you really need to say.
Is that what you call yourselves?
I mean, we technically did.
To them, yes.
All right.
We freed their
Tartuk was a
clan.
gnome who disguised himself as a kobold and deposed their leader and was pushing them into doing his bidding, and we killed Tartuccio, disguised as Tartuk, in front of them, and they saw him change back to a gnome.
He's like, he takes this in and he's like, I think we have a lot to catch up on.
Indeed. Now, if you feel recovered, you can head back to Oleg's trading post, where you can let
Which
them
is
know.
here on the map.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
The kobolds are about 3 hours from here.
That sounds a little bit more reasonable to me. I'll say that the Slayers have talked
I said
to
to start there.
will vouch for me. Let's hope that they listen to that. All right then. Well, lads.
I'll hand him a moon radish, one of the few moon radishes I have,
Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
and say they love these.
all right. Well, if
Ask for Micmac. Micmac it speaks common and was the one who led us to their home.
Micmac.
Yep, that is correct.
All right, all right.
We found him as a captive of Mythlets, and they were torturing him.
This story just keeps on getting more unbelievable. Are you sure you haven't had a bit too much to drink?
I'm certain.
Oh, hang
We
around
haven't had
for
a
a
lot to
bit.
drink, actually. Thank you for reminding us. Would you care to maybe stick around afterwards and brew us up a nice batch?
Well, I got plenty here. I'll have this with me. Managed to catch the one barrel. Had to leave the other, but I think they've already tapped it to all it's worth, if you know what I mean. They seem to be quite fond of the old booze. Especially mine.
A question. How hard is it to get the ingredients to brew up some?
How hard is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this particular brew...
are common.
This particular brew has a few things in it that are a little bit difficult to find. Some of it's regular ingredients, but I can't tell you the secret just yet. But if you come and see me later, I'll make sure that I get that for you as thanks for, well, if I survive that long, that is contributing to that.
Plus, considering seeing if we could borrow this barrel off you and put some surprise mixed into it for your dear friends to regret that they thought they should drink your fine brew without proper compensation.
You mean to poison it or something?
To help them slumber. Something to make them feel less than optimal for the endeavor ahead of their removal of their head from their bodies.
I think if it
ease their passing, shall we say?
I think if it were reintroduced to the camp and they noticed that it was that whatever was in there would be viewed suspicious, they're not exactly a stupid lot. But if you could manage it so that they didn't know and they thought it was just, I don't know, hidden there the whole time or something, that maybe you might get away with that. But it seems like a fairly difficult series of events to go right, if you get my drift.
I understand.
But I'll leave it with you if you think that you can make use of it. Just don't drink too much, otherwise you'll sleep for about a week.
That sounds somewhat appealing.
I have no intention on drinking any of it until these bandits have been succinctly dealt with, and then we will toast your success at escape and ours at their removal.
Well, just before I go, then I was thinking I could perhaps get some ideas as far as what I might name this particular brew. It is something that I came up with while I was here at the Staglod's Fort. I was thinking something to do with my name, but it's got like a pretty bitter tang, at least as at first, and then it's got a bite. So it's like bitter and then fiery.
What about the Stag Lord's Regret?
Staglod's Regret? Yeah, that's not a bad name. I'll consider it.
We'll work on some names. It would be easier for us to name after we've sampled it, which we'll do at a later time.
All right. Well, I'll make my way to the Kobolds then, and mayhaps, we'll see each other again. It is very strange that we should find ourselves in each other's, well, area so soon here, there, Reskin. But well, you never know where life's gonna take you, I suppose.
We'll come back by the Kobold's Den on our way back from the Stag Lord before we go to Oleg's, and you can travel with us to Oleg's trading post. Bit
Yes.
more civilization there.
Sounds like a nice bit of business then. Well, I'll bid you farewell and all the best with the Stag Lord. Don't get yourselves killed now.
We'll certainly try not to.
Let's do the reverse of that.
Get them killed.
That sounds like a much better idea. Very well, chaps.
Good luck.
Um,
See you soon.
There's more rolling and rumbling as the barrel continues on its trek.
Oh, I thought he was leaving that with us.
Oh, do you want him to?
Well,
I have a potion of invisibility. We can get that in there.
All right. If you think
that's why I
you
was
can
deferring
make
to you
use of
guys on
it,
your judgment.
then he will leave it with you.
How much is the
Sure.
barrel worth? I ask him, by the way.
He goes, well, it's a brand new brew. Stag Lord's Regret. Look, it's a barrel, so I don't know, 50 gold.
It's quite a lot. Don't know if I have that much to part with, but
Says, don't worry about it. I'll look you up later.
okay. I was going to give you some coin now if it would help to compensate, but
Look.
if that is what you wish, we can take care of it later.
All that I really care about is not getting whipped anymore and perhaps living the rest of my life as in a little bit more peace, if you get my drift.
I think we can make that happen.
Indeed, and just so you're aware, we are planning on trying to bring a little bit more civility and civilization to this area. If you plan
Stability.
to be interested
Stability
in
too.
potentially having some additional area of business. But we'll talk about that more when we pick you up from the Soot Scales caverns there and head back to Oleg's.
All right, then. So I just travel up the river, then?
Yeah, don't get too close to the banks. There's some areas that are boggy and will suck you in.
All right, then. I will keep my fair distance. Thank you for the heads up.
Give yourself a good 50 feet from the bank.
All right, then. Granted, I'll do that.
Yeah, we'll go. We'll go ahead and describe the entrance to the Kobold base, how it was kind of hidden.
Yeah.
And kind of detail that for him so he can actually find it.
Very good. With all of that said and done, he takes his leave and will do his best to make it to the Kobold safely, leaving you with a barrel of Stag Lord's Regret and
I will toss him some rations as he goes as well, so that he has something to get on his way.
And a 5 or 10 minute break as we decide what to do and get food and drinks for ourselves and all of those things. So we will take that now and then get to the Stag Lord's fort after the break. So, be right back screen. Won't be too long, fellas and people. And welcome back to Matt in a Hat. We are going to get straight back into our Kingmaker session now. So jump over to there. And our focus here, as I have said to the others, our glorious players here, is how we want to get into the Stag Lords Fort. We've travelled an hour to find somewhere safe to be. And so we know it's an hour back. Do we want to go during the day? Do we want to go during the night? Are there any preparations that you guys want to undertake? That is what our focus is for the moment, and we won't really be in a map outside of like the camp map until you guys decide what we're doing. So let's try and decide relatively quickly and get the show on the road for everyone at home. Thank you guys.
So I personally vote for going in at night.
Yeah, I think we should wait until after dark and then make our way around the fort once so that we can see all the sides of it and see if there's any gaps or ways in other than the gate, since that's going to be the most heavily guarded area.
If there's
a way
a
we
store.
can get in from the back.
It looked like there might be, but we didn't get a very good full picture of it.
Yeah. So let's make the circle of it as soon as dusk hits.
Okay.
I think we should also consider that if we're going to use this barrel, do we have anything that we can actually poison it with? Because I don't think we have any poisons.
Well, that's why I was asking if we had anything before we took it from him, because I didn't know if we had needed for it.
I don't.
Not that I know of.
One question that I should have asked him: how flammable is the stuff?
You definitely did not ask him that.
He said you'd sleep for a week if you drank enough of it.
Yeah, you think because Rezkin knows him, Rezkin believes that he meant a whole lot of it.
Like, if you got blackout drunk on it, you'd probably be out for a
So
while.
if the four of us split the barrel and drank it all.
Yeah, if you drunk the whole barrel between you, yes, you're going to be out a very long time.
Oh boy. Is there a way to I guess sneak around and kind of spike people's drinks?
If you can get in there undetected and you have something to spike it with, then sure, but
Check your inventory, everyone, quick.
As he said,
Creative.
the dwarf said, he thinks that anything to do with that is probably going to be pretty involved and pretty difficult because they seem to be very vigilant. That's what he said.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work.
Okay.
So then we'll stash the keg onto one of the mounts at that point in the stash and drop that setup. We do have the dusted disappearance, which will give us a minute of invisibility.
Yeah.
It could be used to try to get somebody over the wall, maybe at that point, or I'm just trying to figure out a way that we can do that. But let's do the circuit around and see what we can see around back before.
Yeah, absolutely.
So cool. You guys wait till dusk. So what that's gonna mean is that it's gonna be dark. And some of you are not going to be able to see. So is it only going to be some of you that go and scout around, or how are we going to facilitate that?
The only people in the group that has dark vision is... Yeah, if it's dark vision necessary, then Rezkin's the only one who's going to...
Yeah.
Well, it depends. If it's dusk, then it's going to be low light. If it... Because it's spring, right? So you've got a little bit of time between, dusk and night, but it's not like a full 2 hours or anything.
Yeah.
you probably have half an hour to 40 minutes between dusk and night, something like that. Maybe 50 minutes to an hour on, like, if it's an especially bright dusk.
You have a way to create those lights. Is there a way that we can make them less noticeable by like putting a cloth over them or something so that they only give very minimal light?
The light spell is, I mean, you can put it on an item and then obscure the item and it will block the light completely. But that defeats the purpose. I mean, the moment you uncover it, you're going to get the 20-foot circle of light that goes along with it, like it's a bright torch.
Right. I didn't know if there's a way that we could, you know how like a flashlight, right? If you put a shirt or something over it, you cut its brightness like in half. So I'm thinking that kind of concept. What if we tossed a cloth over your light spell? Would it make
still
it
be a
dim
glowing light in the dark out in the wilderness? I mean, it's going to be noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we're better off letting the people with low lights search during the low light portion, and if we need to continue to do scouting after that, once it's going to full dark, let Reskin do the rest of it.
Yeah. Magic is magic, and you can't sort of, at least for the moment, have a dimmer and like having objects between. You could do that to make something like a hooded lantern kind of thing, but like you're still gonna be shining light down either way, and it's not gonna be dim light. So right at your feet is where it would illuminate, whether it was hooded or not.
And go down the walls and see it for hundreds of feet away.
Yeah, if they're looking for oddities, that would be an oddity, whether it's shining at them or not, right? So,
well, the other consideration was doing something to it to make it look more unnatural, like change its color to green or something, so they think it's like, you know,
nothing you can think of. If you had glass that was colored, then sure, but none of you do. And right now, except unless you had
glass vials.
No, they're not. They're not colored glass.
Like a health potion. I know, kidding.
Do you know how hard it is to make glass? Period, let alone colored glass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was joking. I'm just trying to think of what we could have for options.
No. So at this stage, with your current resources and with your current command of the spells that you have in order to be able to do that, you don't know of a way to do that. If you want to try and get tricky with it, it will be checks in relation to the spellcaster who's trying to do that, as there is no mechanical way the game allows for anything like that. So we would just make a check, and you'd have to roll particularly well in order to do something, and it may not even be exactly what you want, because that's not how magic works. You speak it out, and it just does the thing that it always does. It's not subtle without subtle spellcasting feats, which have you learning how to do that, right? It's like very specific.
I don't know any of those, so.
Yeah, I say we just scout first and get more information before we worry about being goofy.
So is Lucas going to stay behind?
Oh.
Yeah, you just stay further away. Kester's further out too, so the two of you stay further away.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll stay with Kasur.
Okay.
Sir, you're willing to guide dog Lucas through the dark? You have low light, right?
He does.
So so do I. The only one here in the dark is
I'm the only one that's blind. Yeah.
Well, you're the only one that's blind, and the only one who can see in the complete dark is my brother.
Yeah.
So we run the whole gamut here.
Great.
Yep.
All right, so let's roll some perception checks. As those that are scouting at least, those that are staying behind, don't worry about it. Just those that are scouting will make some perception checks. Holy googamoga.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I mean,
That's a way to scout.
Oh, hell.
Nat 20! Ink Zombie, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well today.
no, motherfucking 20.
Nat 20! Yeah, we're doing good. We're about to head up to the Stag Lord's fort and try and take him down. Alright, so Rezkin, you have your eyes very peeled during this scouting endeavor, and I'll get you both, please, to make me stealth rolls as well, as you are trying to stay hidden and silent. Yeah. Yep, nice. You managed.
Exact same.
You
That's
managed to
nice.
stay at enough of a distance that you can see, but not be seen. And you notice that those areas as depicted, so these areas up are very well patrolled. You see people going from one to the other, popping back and forth. They're fairly vigilant. They're looking mostly out this way, as these areas to the sides are less accessible. And no one's really paying attention to the back. Not really. They casually look out there, but it's not anywhere near as much. And as you circle
They have
around,
torches or lanterns.
they do. Let's see. I don't think any of them have actual lanterns. Let me double check that. I think it's mostly just
Are the
torches.
mounted on the thing, or are they carrying the torches?
They're mounted on the fort.
Okay.
Yeah, none of them that I can tell have lanterns. So we're gonna say they do not have lanterns. But there is, I'm gonna say that there is one lantern that's right at the front, pointing along the road, and it's a spotlight lamp, like it's a bullseye lantern, like that's just flooding
Yeah,
that,
like I have.
flooding the road. So you stay well away from that, but not many of them are really looking at the back. And what you can tell is that there is a very significant rise at the back. It is a hillside which has it's going to take quite a while to get up there. It has lots of little like undulations and stuff, but it works its way up all the way to the top of the hill where the Stag Lord's Fort is. Doesn't seem that that the bandits are worried about it at all. But it does wind its way at the back. There is no door or gateway or entrance at the back, but it just so you'd have to find some way to climb the wall. But the back isn't nearly as watched. So I have
Based
one.
on what we can see for how they're watching, do we honestly think that we'd be able to lead Lucas while he can't see in the dark up to there in a reasonable amount of time?
Uh, you could do it with a couple of hours. Yeah. If you wanted to do it in 20 minutes, probably not.
And so I have a question. Do and I know that like I don't have like low light, I don't have like night sight or whatever, but like at some point like pupils dilate to the point that you can at least see something, right? Or is that not how it works in Pathfinder?
What's that?
5 to 6 feet around you is basically
Okay.
the best that you can pull with that.
Okay.
But from what I would say is you can look into the light over there and see what's going on in the light over there without any problems because it's
Okay.
lit. It's just the intervening space between is going to be
Yeah, so
not something you
All right.
can deny on.
so what happens effectively is you cannot make a perception check in an area that is dark. That's basically like as far as vision goes. Your vision does not work in that area. Now, that doesn't mean that far away from you you can't see a light if there is a light there. For example, it could be completely dark and you can look up and see the moon. Just because
Okay.
it's dark down here doesn't mean the moon's not shining, right? And maybe the moon's
Yeah.
illuminating something. Maybe it's, and so you might see like the edge of something or whatever off in the distance. But that doesn't mean you can see your hand when you put it above your face. You cannot. If it's dark, you cannot see that.
Okay.
You know it's there. But yeah, you can't
All right.
can't see it.
No worries.
Are
Thank
are
you.
any of the people on watch obviously not human?
No.
Like, are they obviously elves or dwarves?
All of them, as far as you can tell, are human or potentially wearing something to say that they're human. But as far like that, I don't see what the reason for asking is either. But like they're
If any of them have dark vision,
you have yeah. From what you've seen, you know some humans have dark vision. Other than that, probably not. And the fact that the like fort is pretty well lit, your best guess is they probably don't have dark vision.
okay.
I have one thing for you. As you make your way around, as you see all of these things, to the southeast of the fort, as you make your way around, you manage to note that there is something a little bit odd about the lay of the land, about how it sort of undulates. It doesn't. There's something odd about it. Just to the
We'll keep
southeast.
closer to where the oddities are and investigate them.
Yep. You begin to like poke around. There seems to be like a little sunken area where and then all of a sudden as you find that sort of like a dip in the land, the pressure on your foot changes from like soil to something harder than soil.
Like a trap door.
Potentially.
Try and uncover it and see what it is. Look for traps and stuff too, so I don't trigger anything.
All right, give me a roll for that.
Perception.
Perception to make sure there's no traps. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you find a trapdoor. It's not properly exposed, and it would take quite a bit of digging, you think, to properly expose it. but you do think that there is a trapdoor here. Where it goes and what it covers is another question entirely, but it is a trapdoor. It is made of wood, and it is only partially it's not accessible right now because it's not fully exposed. It would take digging.
I'll go get the other two. You start digging.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Go get them, and I'm going to start clearing the door. I'm going to do so as quietly as possible. I mean, I know that we've got a distance here, but
Let me just check on something.
sure.
Actually, I'm gonna reveal something to you guys. Because that's kind of where we're at. So we're gonna copy our tokens. We're gonna go over here. Now, Casser and Lucas, you're not here at the moment, but I'm just going to put you there.
Sure.
So just here is the trapdoor, okay? That's how close you are to the fort if you decide to do this.
Wow.
You decide to do that, you can measure with your ruler how close that is. That's less than 20, like less than 30 feet to the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, if it was during the day, like we would definitely get seen.
So it's extraordinarily dangerous.
All right. Well,
Is this area?
when I'm leading Kesser and Lucas back, I'll lead them back further away from the wall and just say, the trapdoor's up that way. I'm going to sneak back up and help clear it, and then we'll come get you.
Okay.
We're going to be right up against the wall then, because they're less likely to look down unless there's windows.
It's true.
There's
So we're
no
just gonna sit
windows
there
in the
quietly.
wall. No
It's
windows.
not much of a
I figured
wall.
there wasn't
We'd
any.
be getting in pretty quick and easy if there were windows.
I mean, that's kind of what I was saying.
Well, but
Then yeah,
Kesser's
we'll just
right.
be
It
up
is
against
right
the
up
wall.
against the wall at that point.
Yeah, like leaning
Unless they're
against
leaning
the wall,
out and
just sitting
looking
there
straight
quietly.
down.
Well, but if you get that close, you might make noise and alert them.
Tell them to
True.
Stay 100 feet away.
That's fine. We can do that then.
Stay
We'll stay 100 feet
still.
away.
They're not going to hear you. And the ground's all uneven, so there's lots of like rises and falls that you could hide behind too, so that they don't have clear line
Sure.
of sight if they look.
We can do that.
Okay, it's going to be athletics checks to dig, and it's going to be stealth rolls to stay quiet.
Okay.
Nice. Do I need to roll?
No, you're staying 100.
Okay.
Okay.
Stealth is good. Athletics. Okay.
Tarnal does not make progress, but Rezkin makes some progress. And given that both of you have rolled, I need another set of stealth rolls, please, from both of you.
Not the stealth rules that you put in there. You need an additional one.
They're additional ones. All right. Because, yep, so 5 minutes into your digging, Tarnal suddenly has a coughing fit.
Wow, thanks, Tarnal. Good job.
I can do. I get a lung full of dirt.
Yep. It just, like, Rezkin was digging it out really well, and everything was going well, and then yeah, Tarnals wasn't making much progress. He's like, I've got to contribute more here, and so he's like thumped into the ground, and it's like puffed up, and dirt's like just dust has flowed up into his face. You think that you've been heard as several voices start to come your way, and torches get risen from their hidden places, and held out. You've got a few moments to slink off into the shadows. Whether you want to be, you said that Lucas and Kasur were right under the wall, like right beside the wall. Is that right?
That's what I had said, but Rezkin said he'd rather us be 100 feet out.
Okay, so you're
Yeah,
100 feet out.
You said the ground's all uneven, so I figured there could be a little hillock or something that they could hide behind and not have line of sight.
Okay, so you guys are out then. So Tarnal and Rezkin, you've got an opportunity to sneak away, but you've also got lights and voices coming your direction. So I'll get another stealth roll, please.
Okay.
Third one. Oh boy.
Nope. I'm gonna hero point that.
Okay. Probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say good choice.
Try that again.
There you go.
Much better.
So you managed to slink off, but
spent hero point.
light starts to flood this whole area, and they see that this area has been disturbed, and they start pointing that out, and more men start to appear on the parapets, and they whistle, and they start to organize a group to go out of the fort and around to investigate further. These guys are not playing around.
Oh, you said they were vigilant.
Right.
I'm gonna look at Rezkin's notes. Sorry. Do we take off completely at this point?
Oh, hold on. How many of them are there on the wall clumped together? And in what area next to each other?
I'm gonna say there's 4 currently, 4 bandits, and they're about 10 feet apart in a line.
Oh, this doesn't say it hits an area.
So if you remember, we had like this big area here, so you can imagine that there's like 4 of them like this, and they're looking out like that, yeah. And yeah, you've just heard that they've called for actual, like for more of them to come out and start circling down on the outside.
If you're good at deception, you could make creature prints.
We don't have time.
Like owlbear footprints.
Once again, I don't think we have time if we decide to do that. We needed to sneak away immediately. If we take the time to try to do that, we're going to have to make multiple additional stealth.
You have enough time, you think maybe a minute or 2 for them to like open the doors, organize everyone, close the doors, have them sent out. Maybe a minute, maybe 2. That sounds like a long time, but it goes very quickly.
Yeah, no, we want to sneak back to where Lucas and Kasur are, so that if a small group comes out, we could possibly fight them off. And then
that's kind of what I was thinking. If we could draw them away from the fort enough where we could ambush them and take out the squad.
Well, so what's happening? What you notice as you're slinking away, that's really good thinking, guys. I love it. But what you notice is that as the group starts to come out, like you've slunk away, You feel like you're safe, but they keep on checking in with the guys that are up, and they're like, we're good. Can you guys see anyone? They hang out the lanterns, they poke around, and then they move on, and they do that again, and they keep on double checking back and forth as they make their way around. You don't think you're gonna be able to do that, but you could try.
So they're basically double and triple checking over and over and over again.
That's
Yeah.
why I said creature footprints drawing them away.
I don't think that they would have come out if they thought it was just a creature. Oh, it's just some idiot badger digging over here, and then they would have just gone back inside. You know, but
Well, we didn't use tools to dig, so maybe they will think that it's something weird.
So a group of 4, another 4 on top of the 4 that are on the parapets, another 4 have come out. They each have torches, and effectively they break into 2 groups of 2, not in 2 separate directions, but together. 2 of them look close to the wall. 2 of them look closer to a little bit further from the wall. They're checking in with each other, and they check in above, and they do that all the way around. Once they get to where you were, they stop. The 4 of them gather around. They have one of the guys up on the parapet to shine down a bullseye lantern. So they run and grab another bullseye lantern, and they start to shine it right on that spot. And then the 4 of them basically fan out, and they search about a 30-foot area all the way around that door. They spot your footprints, and they point in that direction. And they call for an alarm to be sounded and for a general readiness in the fort.
Oh. So much for that.
it's not necessarily a bad thing.
So you hear more voices joining from the inside. These 4 stay out here, and that lantern, that bullseye lantern from inside, is flooding that whole area. And yeah, they're like, yeah, someone's been digging out here. Looks like they've been using their hands. They've definitely been trying to uncover this. Looks like they've found, the trapdoor. They might even, it doesn't look like they've managed to get inside, but we might need to check that. All that sort of stuff is what they're saying.
So maybe we can use this as a decoy?
I'm thinking more along the lines of give it half an hour until they decide that, okay, nobody's here and is attacked. They fled. And then cause another alarm again. This is the middle of the night. They've got every one of their guards up. If we continue to do this once or twice over the night, nobody's going to get any sleep.
It's fair.
But neither are we.
Really good. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
And neither are we. That's true. That's true.
But we'll sleep through the day and then come back again at night.
Now, what I would say, is that maybe Kazura and I can go and rest. And yes, the 2 of you would not really get any rest, but 2 people.
But then we could we could switch who's on watch of the 2 of us.
Yeah.
And we could be on watch when they're resting.
Yep, that's very fair.
Okay. So
guys, I don't know if we're gonna overthink this or not back and forth. The other option is to just start killing people.
Yeah, so I mean I've presented to you what their course of action is. It seems to you to be very thorough, nearby? Well thought. Huh?
Yeah.
Is there any pines nearby?
Pines?
Yeah, do pines even
Yes,
exist?
pine trees.
I mean, what sort of distance would you want them to be from here?
Just within 100 feet or so of us that we could go and see about getting some pitch to put on the end of our arrows to send some fire into their base of operations.
I mean, possibly. Like, there's trees within 100 feet, so maybe you'd have to make survival checks to find a pitch, and then crafting checks to apply them to your arrows. But potentially,
Mm-hmm.
that's
I mean,
probably
the
going to
other
take a
option I
good
thought-
amount of time. Like, you're talking about
The other option I thought,
several hours.
if Tarno wanted to put on a ghostly haunting song, something about,
I think
the
that's
spirits
gonna,
of...
that's going to lead them right to us. I mean, I can't do that in a way that is going to be non-directional. That's the problem with that. You do that, they're going to look and go, it's coming from that way, and they're going to send patrols directly out that direction.
You don't have, like, ghost sound or any of those sorts of cantrips?
Nope, I do not have ghost sound at all. If I did, I would have been considering using it already.
Alright.
Okay. Well, I'm open to what you guys want to do. If you want to just...
Hey, let's just start killing people.
Don't necessarily know if that's the greatest of ideas. We're at about 100 foot out from the wall. Dave came out 20, 30 feet from where they were at,
Yep.
searching and everything like that. We start lobbing arrows at somebody there. If we're from in the dark firing into where they're lit, we can still see them as a target. But we
Right.
can't, you specifically can't just turn and run
Oh,
off
no.
into the darkness.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
And
going to leave you as a major stumbling block for us to be able to do hit and runs right
I can carry him.
the other issue is, this is what we have for a battle map. I do not have the capacity to have us ducking in and out of cover and have that be represented and to be able to track that. So I would say, while I love your ideas and while I want to facilitate what your characters would do, we also have certain things that we need to consider. Hit and run tactics is fine, but we have to narrate a lot of that. It has to be done with victory points instead of with combat, right? So we'd be doing it like, okay, you guys are trying to like draw them out. Here's a certain number of victory points you have to succeed at. And then we try and do that. And then if you succeed at that, then what are you going to do with that? Do we need another map then? Because they've been drawn out enough. So there's a lot to consider.
Well, what about this? What would you recommend us doing? I'm not asking you to blow it, but
Right.
given that we're only going with what we know versus what we could see as there and what would help the narrative.
Yeah. So, well, here, right? So we have a situation. We didn't know. We knew that they would be vigilant, but we didn't know how vigilant they would be or how anal about the security they would be. And apparently, they're pretty bloody anal about the security.
Yeah, they're pretty anal.
Now it is night, but it's only like you came at dusk, so it's not like super late. And maybe if you draw off and come back in a couple of hours, the situation might have changed. We don't know. You literally only have information for when you first saw it, which was during the day, and now, which is dusk. So
Yeah, I think the best plan would be to withdraw for a little bit and then come back and see.
I think the more information about how they're gonna be later on might be useful to you in figuring out what your plan of action might be.
Sure.
And above and beyond that, you also know that bandits seem to all dress and act and speak approximately the same-ish, and maybe if you dressed and spoke and acted in that way, you could do things a different way, like an infiltrate.
Okay.
It's something that occurs to you as part of this, knowing how vigilant they are. But again, we need more information as to if later at night than just dusk, like they've just eaten or are just about to. It's no wonder they're so, like, on it. And maybe later
Might be better.
it might be
We
better.
can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's come back. Let's come back in the middle of the night.
Yep, so like 12, 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, so let's set it up. Let's go to the journal. Let's set it to the Tuesday at very early morning. Don't worry about whatever this is showing. It's definitely not sunny because it's in the middle of the night. We're gonna set the hour as 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's 1 o'clock ish in the morning. You come sneaking back. You do another. Do you want to do another full go around? Or
I think we can get to within sight of the top of the wall and be able to tell whether or not the guard patterns have changed drastically. If
Okay.
there's a lot more of them moving around, if we can see light moving around on the outside of the wall as we approach, we will know that they're still out there patrolling.
a few things.
Bullseye lantern still looking there. Yeah.
Yeah, a few things. The bullseye lantern has been retracted and is no longer shining down at the at the trapdoor. However, there are 2 torches that have been planted next to the trapdoor and are currently lit and are burning. And you see 2 guards that are looking out, kind of not exactly at that, but around there to see if anyone's coming. Apart from the 2 guards, there's probably others that are on the parapet, but they're the ones that you see. There's not 4 in a line like there was when you guys alerted them.
Watch for 5 minutes. How often are they checking themselves? Are they checking in multiple times in the 5 minutes?
They do not check in at all in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So that's totally changed from before, where they were alerted, where they were constantly checking in with one another. They are not doing that at all now. Instead, they're just like walking back and forth. They look down, they look out, and then they continue to do their walk. Their walk is fairly narrow. It's fairly short. And they've clearly been designated this area. At 1 o'clock, in fact, what you will see is both of them will stop after a while. You're here for 5 minutes watching them. They stop. They hear some voices, and you hear some voices from down below. 2 more guys come up. They give the guards that were there something. It looks like a drink of some sort. They replace the guards that were there, and those 2 that were there go down and disappear into the fort as 2 new ones come up.
They go
Takes
down
them
through the trapdoor?
No.
No, they're
On the
inside
parapets.
Okay.
Yeah, so they've swapped.
So are they changing the guard or are they?
They're changing the guard. Yeah, they just changed those two.
Swap.
There's other swaps as well, but that's the swap that you most notice. And the exchange takes another 5 minutes, so you can stay there for that, right? As they're swapping over, they're talking about what they've seen and they've heard, and yeah,
Do they say anything that would help us?
you'd need to make a perception check to
aid the
actually hear
commands.
their words.
How long does the swap take?
5 minutes.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd be there or not, since I had armor on. Was it just Redskin and Tarnil again?
Probably, I imagine so. Because it's now completely dark outside of the areas that are lit. Ooh.
Trained ear.
Alright. Couple of things then. You hear a big belly laugh of what sounds to be someone who is very heavy set. Probably a big hulking person of some description. Maybe not taller than an average human, like not like a giant, but probably a
Big
bigger
dude.
person. And he's like, ho, 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 ho. Take this one then, and you hear a whack, and someone's just like, oh, get off me, you big brute, sort of thing, and so you hear some byplay. You hear. You hear someone refer to the brute as orcs. Maybe AUX, but who knows? ORCS? Orcs? I don't know. Orcs? AWKS? Who knows?
Phonetic spelling at its best.
And he's like, oh, is Doven in a bad mood? That sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some banter going on. Like, shut up. Roll over, go back to sleep. But sleep isn't boring.
These are from the ones that are down below.
Yeah, somewhere in the fort. Yeah. So you're just hearing some byplay down there. And then you hear someone be like, all right, you better make sure this spigot is loosened. Staglord's wanting another one. Another one? Another one. Alright, and then you hear people messing around and drinks getting ferried.
I will quietly relay all of what I just heard to Reskin. They're horsing around and drinking inside.
There's not an awful lot of them that are up and about. From the last time you were here, and all of the people that you heard and you saw, this maybe is less like 6 maybe that are up and about other than the guards. Maybe not even that.
Try and circle around to the sides a little bit, but staying far enough out that we can get a good view of the walkways and whatnot. Just watch for torches moving around or whatnot, or people moving across the lines of light.
Yeah, so there's a
Are all
handful.
of the patrols still up there? Like, are they on full patrol still, or is it just a couple?
So on the upper section, which is the um there's a single bandit in each tower that are stationary, basically stationary. Um,
So there's 4 bandits and towers and 2 on that platform at the back.
yes. And then you think two are traveling between the towers in whichever direction on a rotation type of thing. They're not like so they're individuals that are traveling across, looking out, checking in, uh, and then going back. Check in is no more than a all right, yep. Not like it was before.
Eventually, it's going to get to just what is it? Just a nod.
Yeah, they're nowhere near like even just the way that they're holding themselves is totally different than before. The fresh guards, because you got a natural 20. The fresh guards seem to be leaning on their watch towers a little bit more than the previous ones.
Let's give them a
Oh, they're
couple
getting
hours.
tired.
So I see. I'm going to sneak with Tarno back down the hillways towards the other 2. Report everything that we saw, so they're up to speed, and say we've got a couple options. We could fuck with them some more. Like maybe I could sneak up there and I could just grab those torches and run back down the hill, confuse the shit out of them. Why would somebody just take the torches and run off? Makes no fucking sense.
Pixies.
Or we could try and come back at like in like an hour or 2 and see if they're a little bit less vigilant and see if we can get over that wall at the back. I don't think that the trapdoors, even if we get to the trapdoor and uncover it the rest of the way, I suspect that they probably barred it or whatever. If it leads inside the fort, they probably barred it by this now or trapped it or rigged it or something.
And I'm gonna look
full of guards.
Fair.
Who knows?
and I'm gonna look right at you and go, and if we're even more unlucky, it's just the back way into the owlbear den.
Yeah, you don't know where it leads, so
I mean, it's the opposite side of the fort, but still, yeah, you're right. It could. Who knows?
I mean, ideally, if we could get that owlbear out tonight, that would be optimal positioning.
Yeah.
You think you could get over the wall, sneak up to the wall, get over the wall, take the dust of disappearance with you, let the owlbear out, and get the fuck out of there? You think you can do that, brother?
I could sure try. Is the gate an actual gate or an opening in the wall at the front?
the gate's an actual gate. You've seen it opening and closing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if I did
We also
something?
have no idea how the fucking owlbear gate is secured.
Right.
And it's secured either. You might have to run
I
a
will
winch for
say,
5 minutes to get the fucker open.
I do have this potion of forceful blast, which is a throwable item, which you may be able to set it off by something that causes force damage, which could potentially blast the door open, that I have no qualms about handing over to you for such a spectacular show.
Yeah.
I mean,
Another option is I could hide somewhere near the front Was it completely flat open land out front near the gate? Or was there
It's
anywhere I could hide?
it's angled downwards, but mostly it's open. Yeah.
Like if I were to be like say 20 feet away from the gate and like lying flat on the ground with my hood pulled up, would I be able to hide, or do you
I
think it's just
I
not
don't
possible?
think so. You don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
How high is the
Okay,
wall?
we've seen the back wall of this thing. Does it look like there's a way to climb over it?
No better than anywhere else, but it's the least watched. So it's better for that reason, not better for climbing.
How tall was the wall again?
15.
15 feet.
15 feet?
You can boost him up.
And
I could throw him, but
I could throw him.
make a bit of noise getting up there.
Only if you're wearing your armor. I'm not telling you to take it off.
I wouldn't take it off.
I'm not known for very quiet, even without it.
So, given that we need to make some decisions, obviously you've got things to think about, and I don't want to press too hard, but at the same time, we need to facilitate actually having some sort of direction and achieving something. So,
Sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the dust of disappearance and sneaking in is the best way. Having seen the whole fort all the way around once, what's the easiest place to get over? Is it the gate or is it the back?
the back is the easiest, but in order to be able to get to the back, you have to climb that hill. So the climbing of the hill is gonna take time, but it's the easiest and the least watched of everything. Like, they're barely paying attention to it. Like, basically not paying attention to it.
So basically, it's like it's holding up this big sign that says "Welcome."
All right. Well, let's see here.
Do you want me to try to sneak in there with you?
I will say this.
Appearance only works for one person.
I will say this too, alright? Because of things, if we opt to do that, it will be a different map to this. So it's substantial, is what I'm saying. It's already prepared. It's already there. It's the one thing that I did above and beyond already.
But you're talking about the whole rest of the internal of this beyond what we can actually see and what the dwarf knew about.
What I am saying is, if you opt for the back route, you would be doing that with everybody, and because it's not watched, and it's a climb in and of itself, which would potentially get you in.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I mean,
That's-
yeah, I've got a climbing kit. It's on my mount, so
Awesome. Great.
Let's just make a decision and let's do this. And I would rather we all be together than not.
Yeah.
yeah.
If we're gonna have combat start up, because if it's just the two of us and suddenly there's fucking 17 guards coming at us, even if they are 17 low-level guards, which we don't think they are, we will die without the support of our party.
Yeah. All right. So before we go anywhere, let me do a couple of things then, please.
But yeah, I'll just need to access my mount before we go.
Oh yeah. Let me
But I can do
activate.
that really quick. I can do that. The campsite's already up there, so.
Okay. I'm just gonna configure this.
Climbing kit.
You're gonna grab the dust of disappearance out of the
Yeah.
stash as well.
And then we have those. We have 2 lesser and 4 minor. Do we want to hand those out to anyone that needs them?
We should distribute those to whoever we think is going to need them the most. I currently still have.
I have minor and lesser right now.
I have a lesser. I have 1 lesser, 2 minor, and 1 moderate on me currently.
Oh, so you're good then. You have moderate. Nice.
Yeah, I bought that 1 moderate. I spent that.
Oh no, you're great. I hear you.
I have 2 minors and a lesser.
All right, so believe it or not, this is what you currently see. Reskin is the only one that has decent vision, and it's all in black and white. So does someone want to have a light?
Yeah, I'm going to cast a light spell.
What are you going to cast it on, please?
I'm going to cast it on a copper piece so that I can drop it into my pocket if need be to hide it.
Okay. Then I will have it on you effectively. So if you pop it up, then we'll apply that.
Yep.
Thank you. Good job making some decisions, everybody. Alright, so there you go.
How are you on potions, Riskin?
I have 5 lesser and 1 minor.
Did you grab the ones that were out of the stash?
No, they're still there.
I would say the 2 of you distribute the other ones amongst yourself. I am fine for what I've got right on me right now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm fine.
I grabbed the lesser just in case we needed them. So there's 4 minor if you want to grab them, Lucas. And then you could always shove them down someone's throat.
Better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them.
100%.
Alright, very good. So, this is where you are. You see to your left and to your right, on either side, there is rock. The rock is undulating. There's lots of different heights and thicknesses of rock. However, where there is occlusion, that is, you're not able to see over it where there's occlusion. Okay? But you could potentially climb the rock in order to be able to see there. Otherwise, you see a bushy path that is leading gradually up, or relatively steeply up this hill at the back of the fort.
Okay. And the path is here.
Yeah. It's not really like it's almost not a path, but it's a way. It's a way. And you see that the way up goes this way, but you also see another way up.
Arnell, are you coming?
That way.
Arnell? You alright, Nuts?
Yeah, I'm coming. I just ended up having a text that I had to check real quick. Sorry.
That's okay. I understand.
So, Reskin, I will get you to here, and then I'll get you to stop. And then I'll get everyone else to stop in a moment. So, I'm going to have you about 10 feet from each other. Ish. Somewhere, something like that. Reskin's scouting ahead because he can see the easiest.
Fair.
Reskin, as you ascend, there is no sign that anyone above has heard or seen or otherwise is alerted to your presence. You can't see anyone up there either, just due to how this ascent is. However, you feel first the ground beneath you start to shift, and then you see a gross clawed hand emerging from the ground,
Oh, great.
and a desiccated corpse pulling itself out of the ground as more and more bodies crawl their way to the surface.
No wonder they weren't watching back here.
So, please roll initiative, everybody.
Okay.
Okay, so that one's getting revealed. Let's roll these.
I mean, if I knew this, I would have equipped the other ability.
Well, you didn't. This is part of the mystery.
There's one that's vitalizing, deals extra persistent damage to undead.
Yeah, once again, no metagaming. Nice to have possibly had, but
oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if
hey,
if we ever know again,
we did have at least a little bit of a hint that there might be some undead here, where they were talking about the Stag Lord raising the enemies of his dead and shit like that in one of the rumors that we heard before. But fuck that guy. Oh, sorry.
But fuck that guy. 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay.
I can't see any of these.
Yeah. Just gonna make sure I'm missing this one.
hey, at least I picked the weapon that works in close quarters better. You know, where I can't get moved into position to use this melee.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Ah, that one did. Okay, so Tarnal, as you are creeping around in the night, you hear a startled cry from your brother around the corner, and you see out of the corner of your eye, as you turn toward where the sound is coming from, you see a skull flying through the air and landing on the ground and shattering. And you hear Reskin's voice being like, "There's more of them and they're coming out of the ground!"
Great. 5, 15.
They're popping out of the ground like
Space
daisies.
right there. Move up to right here.
Even on your turn, as you are acting, I'm going to reveal a few more that are starting to crawl their way to the surface.
Okay. I'm going to move to right there. I'm going to target 10, 5, 15. You know what? this? How do I want to do this? I still got some movement. No, I'm going to stay right there. I'm going to target this one. And we're going to stick with my standby. Kasur, get up here.
There's some of the filth down here as well.
Reskin, you've just booted.
Chase you.
You've booted a skull that was just rising from the ground out to alert the rest that they're coming, but
I'll take a step to there. And then I'm going to attack that zombie.
Ooh. I don't know if that's going to be a zombie. Make the dead deader. Come on.
Well,
Make the dead dead again.
That's a good hit.
is this is a rapier.
yeah,
It's piercing, right?
correct.
Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. No problem.
Luckily, it's not slashing.
I guess I will use fast draw to draw my hand crossbow and shoot at that one.
No. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I don't know why that's a sneak attack as well.
That one hasn't gone yet.
I have initiative.
Sure.
First turn.
That'd be the only reason that one wouldn't.
Kasser?
Near death. Not quite.
You want me to move
Quiet.
up there or hold the ones down here? You're muted, nuts.
Kasser
I
can
think you should make them chase you around the corner.
barely see
Right.
anything, right?
Not a whole
Because-
lot, very well, no.
Because the light's with me around the corner.
So,
Not knowing how many there are, or how close there are, is probably kind of terrifying.
so I can move there, and I can move to there.
Yep.
Right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Get it?
Nice.
Nice.
Anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to try that.
Ranged strike, war spear. I mean, you hit.
And it's back in my hand.
Yep.
So-
Magic.
Oddly, what you guys see is Kasser would throw his spear. It hits it, and when it hits the zombie, it's like shoo, back in his hand.
Like a boomerang.
Yeah, but comes back.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
have to be really good with a boomerang to actually
Mhm.
get it to come right back to you.
Yeah.
That's the thing. This is a spear, and it does come right back to me. I don't have to worry about throwing it good. Like it actually states after the conclusion of the strike, it returns.
Yep.
Me, nimble dodge.
Lucas.
Yep. Let's see. I got my short bow. I will do my short bow, and I will shoot the one beside Reskin.
Okay.
Noise critical.
Crit with bows is nasty.
And this is going to be
Mhm.
disgusting.
Oh.
Ah,
Disgustingly bad. Disgustingly bad. I'm going to do it again.
Oh man.
Oh my god. That was. Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's another hit. Every bit of damage is good damage.
That's all I got because I had
There
to
you
reload.
go. It's a longbow.
I think he was.
Oh, it's a short bow.
Short bow. Doesn't have a load
Okay.
property.
Reload 0.
Oh well, then shit. Wow. No,
that's
I'm not
that's
gonna
the
do it
advantage
again.
with bows. You don't have reload.
I will
just need both hands.
go and I will. Yeah, am I okay for cover?
I don't know, are
Or
you?
no. Well, no. Like I just like looking at the map. I think I'm next to a wall.
Yeah, you're next to a like a rock.
Yeah, I'll take.
You asking
Yeah,
if you
I'll
can take
take
cover?
Yeah, I didn't know if I was gonna. I didn't know if cover was okay or not. I'd like to take cover.
It just depends from what. Like, but yeah, potentially. I'll just say we'll just manually calculate. We'll say that you've taken cover.
Okay.
All right.
Because I mean, like, I don't really want to take another shot.
At a -10, why not?
Yeah, no.
Wow.
You got punched.
The
No.
punch did more damage than my arrow.
Do not harm those of the living, you foul abomination.
That reduces it by 5.
You
Well,
actually drag the effective champion's resistance.
so what's gonna happen is as it raises its claw and starts to bring it down, Kassur interjects like he always has, and you see the undead. And it just stops attacking. It doesn't take enfeebled, but it doesn't hit you with any damage.
But I still drag the effect for champion's resistance onto myself.
No, you don't need to because it
I
didn't.
didn't
You
take
chose
it.
to not do damage, so you don't have to worry about the resistance.
It did nothing.
No.
It pulled its blow completely. Alright, so...
Wow.
It's a triggering damage.
Mm-hmm. I'm really liking this returning thing.
It's amazing for
Reach
God
weapon.
damn.
Sorry, I already used my reaction.
Okay. It even got through cover?
It's right behind you, dude.
cover. It's
Yeah,
right,
okay.
came up right beside you.
Cover increases your
Okay.
armor class against ranged attacks
Okay.
generally.
Alrighty.
Think of XCOM.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm. Why I said it. Everyone knows how XCOM works.
It's also one of the most amazing games I think that they've put out. I really like that game.
I did disagree, but everyone knows how XCOM works. Oh, it's a guaranteed hit. You miss. What?
Got a 97% chance to hit this guy next to me. I missed twice.
Yeah, dice rolling in this is kind of like that at times.
Right. That's kind of what I was saying.
Yeah. God damn, so many zombos.
Yep.
I mean, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In addition to the 2 dead ones.
8.
8.
10 total so far. Not many more. I think Matt's enjoying this.
See, this would be a good encounter for like Halloween or something.
Well, actually, that's part of why I'm glad we came this way, because he said he had to custom prepare it to be ready. So I was like, once I heard that, I was like, we should go that route just because of that.
Yeah.
Oh, it grabbed you?
Successful strike. This grab. Creature has grabbed. User strike monster attempts the grapple. So attempts an athletics check. Oh yeah. So you are grabbed.
It doesn't get multiple attack penalty for that.
No, not for that.
It's based on the attack that it just hit you with.
It's got the grab property, and it sort of just allows it to do the thing.
Okay.
Get them off you, friend.
That's that.
Oh,
This
there's another one.
one comes on in. There's not really space for it. Oh, there's space there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move the dead one. I'm going to move it to there. So yeah, it comes into there. Tries to target Tarnal.
Exactly what he needs to hit us. Jesus.
Toronto, where's this courageous anthem, bro?
Had to move to get into the spot. Otherwise, I'd be around the corner back where all the ones coming at you are.
I was just giving you shit. No.
All right, Tunnel.
Does anybody have any fire? Anything?
I have a wand that gives me the ability to breathe a cone of 15 foot of fire. The problem is that I can't aim it in any direction right now that won't hit multiple of my party to hit any of them. So first things first. We'll start with this.
Gotta have a horde battle every now and then.
Oh yeah.
You could hit 4 of them without hitting any of us.
This is canon, by the way. It is written in the book. This is not me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like you'll hit around half of them, yeah.
You could hit this one straight up to this one, which then would include that one for your area if you wanted to.
Now, it does not say on the wand how many actions it takes to activate that.
It's just what the spell is.
So let me look at this. It's a 2-action spell.
Then
I would have to draw the wand,
right,
activate, and so I can't do anything with it this round.
Yeah.
So So rather than do that, I'm going to do the Courageous Anthem. And I'm going to target you. That's yours, Lucas.
Sweet. Thank you.
And that's my turn.
All right.
Thank you.
Redskin.
I am going to attempt to escape from being grappled.
Fair enough.
I'm going to use acrobatics.
Yes.
Well done.
Then I am going to step.
As you break away from the zombie, its arm completely comes off with you.
So the arm is still hanging from your arm?
Yeah, but he's gotten away from it.
That's fine.
Yeah,
And
just
then
now hit
I'm
it.
going to attack
Now hit the
one that
damn-
I'm flanking with Katsura.
Now hit the damn zombie with its arm.
No, I've got a rapier.
we gotta make it juicy. Come on, it's a zombie battle.
Oh, that still
Very
hits.
nice.
Wow.
Their armor class has got to be terrible, but they are not having any
Monster
problems
mash.
hitting.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, so that one takes 10. Dane.
And that is my turn.
All right, Kassur.
I'm going to strike this one because we need to remove their filth.
Critical.
Critical.
Nice.
Kassur.
A little overkill, but
He's
nice.
also clumsied one.
He's dead.
I'm sure.
He's stumbling around in whatever his afterlife is. Got it.
Right, exactly.
You slam your
Not letting me deselect him.
spear into it, and you send it catapulting across the ground, skewering it to the ground, and then your spear comes back.
That is a hit. Don't know if that's going to be enough. It is. Yay.
All right.
And I'm going to do something very, very... Oh, no, because I moved, so I can't do that.
Okay.
Never mind.
You're done.
That would be a third action.
All right.
Yeah, I was trying to cause some blocking for the rest of you to not get smacked around.
Yeah, that.
It's got a shield, but I didn't have the extra.
Yeah.
He doesn't grab you, but you take 4 damage there, Kassur. And then Lucas.
Yep.
I misread that as the athletics check as the damage. It was kind of like, what the?
Yeah, no.
Let's see.
No 11 damages on a zombie hit. That's just terrifying.
On a non-critical zombie hit. Yeah. No.
No.
I am going to shoot this one right here.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it again.
No.
Almost.
Almost.
Screw it.
You got
Do it
three.
again. Why not?
Why not? No.
No.
Okay, that's it.
Alright.
Good.
Imagine somebody jumping in the stream right as that happens.
Uh,
This is not the stream for me. Back out.
I don't know. Some would say the opposite.
This one's coming on in. By the way, you are not grabbed, so I'm just going to take the grab off you. Alright. That one targets you.
I'm gonna nimble dodge.
Sure. Thank you to Nimble Dodge. Every +1 matters.
Every plus one matters.
Oh, never mind that. Don't worry about that. He couldn't have done that. Then this one goes to here, I guess. And then we go to this one. And then one can get to there. And this one will target Lucas.
We
Foul abomination, back to the earth with you from whence you.
Doesn't get its grab because it doesn't have actions left. Alright, Tunnel.
do I take 4?
You take all of the damage.
You can
I thought
shave
the-
off resistance.
4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Drag it.
Okay.
Yeah, you take it.
Actually, no. It's a zombie. So no, you do not take any damage as it raises its hand to strike you, and then stops when Cassir commands it to.
Okay. 32 it is. Thank you
Nice.
very much, Kazur.
It's a big hit to block.
Wow, it was a good hit to block.
All right. So Tarnal, then Rezkin, then Cassir, please.
Yep.
Yep. Thank you to the Courageous Anthem. Every +1 matters.
Yes, sir.
And then I'm going to, once again, I'm just going to refresh that.
Rezkin.
I'm going to attack the one next to me. Can't get a flanking position right now, but
Yeah, there's an awful lot of them. They're not very, capable. Thank God. Yep.
Yeah.
Bah.
And I will attack a second time.
Bah. Bah.
I think in
Bah.
an area with undead so Matt can have fun.
In my last action, I'm going to reload my hand crossbow.
Casseur?
Actually, I want to change that. I'm going to stow my hand crossbow.
Okay.
Because I want to pull out a potion.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
I need a free hand for that.
Critical.
Nice.
Alright. So that
To
one.
rest with you, foul beast.
Bah.
Render you unto permanent rest.
You hit.
Gone.
And damages.
Holy spear of smiting.
Blah. Nice.
You don't seem to be being slowed down by the D8 versus the D12.
Now,
Not against these.
No, I think the added versatility over the average 2 points of damage is well worth it.
yeah.
Being able to throw.
And it just comes back. Yeah, so good.
Such a big deal. And the shield. It's all big deals.
Thanks to the courageous anthem. Every +1 matters. Alright, so that one.
It was 36 points of damage that round because of that.
Very nice.
Lucas.
Really good.
Yep. Let's do it again. Let's target this badly injured one.
He's just ignoring the ones behind him. Oh, there's zombies back there. I'll
I
shoot
mean,
over here. He can't shoot the ones right on him. I get it.
Critical.
It's using a short bow,
I
actually.
mean, he should be able to with a short bow.
Short bow you can, yeah. It doesn't.
Blah.
now I'm going to turn around and target this one.
Got it.
One more time.
Nope.
It's fine.
Alright. So, zombie targeting Lucas. That. Oh!
Leave him alone, you foul beast. Back to the abyss with you.
He pulls his blow.
It's good, because it would have been a crit.
I mean, I can only do it once, but
That's fine.
at
Thank
least
you.
something.
Mhm.
Better to do that with the crit than the non.
Absolutely.
Although, from what I've seen, you tend to do it at the first opportunity to do it for that without really trying to pick and choose that way, from what I've noticed.
Yeah. It makes the most sense to do it the first time.
Hey.
Yeah,
Someone
because they may not get it.
right.
Awesome. Let's do it.
You're getting pummeled back there.
Yep.
It'll be all right.
And then...
Oh, don't worry. We're about to full focus on that.
As everybody
Mhm.
turns and
Go
goes,
real fast.
oh, look, more.
Yep.
Lucas, why didn't you tell me we had visitors? How rude of you.
Shit.
Oh, look, another one showed up in front of us.
Oh, poop.
Nope. And then finally, we have one on Lucas, because of course we do.
Yay!
Alright, and we go there.
It's the We Love Lucas fan party.
Ah!
Are any of them female? He can finally find a girl who wants to
Yay!
fall for him.
Tunnel.
Low blow, man. Low blow.
No, even the undead ones don't want him.
Lower blow.
Sorry, man.
It just barely hit.
Whatever.
The dice has dictated the story in this
It's
case.
fine. All good.
So where are we targeting at the moment?
The far left one at the bottom, down by Lucas.
Yeah.
Left one?
Targeting.
You don't get a turn, Jenkins.
Alright, Reskin.
Piss off, Jenkins.
Okay, I am going to move to flank this one.
Alright, let me just move some of the corpses out of the way.
Okay, and then I'm going to stab it.
I say this as well. You don't want Jenkins rolling dice against you, because every time he's batted a 20, he's never rolled anything less than a 15. I ain't kidding about that.
Oh, I got one in there.
Still good.
And I'll try again. My third action.
Let me go check his food. I'll be right back.
You hit it.
Nice.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
Unfortunate.
Wow.
That's my turn.
Casser.
Wow.
Reskin nearly brings one down.
These things just
Oh,
won't
boy.
fucking die.
I don't seem to be having that same problem with them, but I will do my best to bring these ones down. Mm.
Nice. I like when monsters have a low armor class.
But with this many, I'm glad they do.
It's only 12 of them.
Too many misses and a cascade on us pretty fast.
Ah,
Yeah, you're rolling at a -5.
Lucas.
Negative 10 on that one. That was his third swing.
No,
yeah, I
it's
rolled a
total-
nat 1
The
Well,
total
you're
math is
walking
negative.
back.
Looks like all the ones to the left, Lucas, are
Yep.
right
let's
under
go.
you.
Woot. Just keep hitting the badly injured one.
Alright.
Nice.
Stop speaking zombie, or we might have to hit you too, Lucas.
Get ripped.
I mean, I think a ripper against these guys would work
Next.
well.
Nope. One more.
Okay.
Nope.
Alright.
Put one down.
So I've got
2 left.
2 attacks against you, or two of them attacking you here, Lucas.
Great.
Did you guys not drag the new courageous help among yourselves? Because I'm not seeing it on anybody else's rolls.
Mine should.
Yeah, I forgot to
This
do
is
it.
expired.
Yeah, you have to grab it every time I cast
Zombie
it.
strikes Lucas.
Oh, okay.
Leave the poor boy alone. He has done nothing to you, you undead abomination.
Alright, so he pulls that blow, and then he strikes again.
Speaking of abomination, hold on a minute. Jesus, cat.
And then the last one is going to strike. Nope.
Nope.
No. Alright, and then you guys can describe how you deal with the last two, because there's no way they are living this round.
I'm gonna tumble through and
spear one off
take
the
one
cliff.
and have it.
Nice.
I'm just going to continue to do the same thing I always do. Very twangy lute strings.
Alright, well, with all of that said and done, you have defeated the zombies that were haunting the hill. And I'm going to pull you out to the back of the fortress, where we will start the next session, because we are finished for tonight.
That's awesome.
Thank you,
That was a
everybody.
great combat experience, Matt.
That was fun.
End encounter.
We need to make sure we say one thing to you before we go.
Very good.
That was thank you.
Thank you in zombies.
Yep.
Awesome. And then we go to here, activate, and we go to there. Well, you're there anyway, so we'll just pull you over to here. We're going to be finishing up now, everyone. I'm just going to go to the ending screen. We're going to find someone to raid out to. So, find that screen, ending screen. And then we go to Twitch and try and find someone who is doing RPGs. Tabletop RPGs. Got Wreckshot. Sure, let's go over there. They look like they're having fun. Alright, so, and then we'll do a raid. Boom. And then I get to say goodbye to y'all. So, look after yourselves, be responsible, be kind to one another. Until next time, whenever that will be, which we'll put up a thing in Discord and just let you guys know. Take care, please. This is me, Matt in a Hat, signing off.